The following is a VSW podcast feature presentation. It is here, folks. Welcome to the Beantown Sports Wolfcast. Today, we are going through a play last night by Hunter Renfrow of the Red Sox to beat the Rays in a convincing win to hold on to the wild card spot. Great, but anyways, the real reason why the Wolfcast is going to flourish today, we are in the kickoff of the NFL season, and not only does TB12 defend his title against the highest rated team in football, the Dallas Cowboys, you got the New England Patriots starting this Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. And I will preview it, how I think the Patriots will win and what they need to do to get their season opening win in Gillette for the first time in a year and a half with fans in the building on the next Beantown Sports Wolfcast. Thank you. Oh, it's a very happy time for me. I love football season. I know you guys all applauded for it. It is true. It's the best time of the year when Sundays feel meaningful, when being lazy means you're productive. If you're a fantasy football player, if you're a daily fantasy, DraftKings or FanDuel pick, it is a tough week one. But we got a battle of divisional rivals to start off the season and a battle of former University of Alabama quarterback. You got the Miami Dolphins coming into the newly high-flying offense of the New England Patriots in a 4:25 kickoff on CBS. I am so excited. You're going to see Mac Jones get the start for the Patriots. You get to see the new running backs be loose. You get to see guys like Brandon Bolden for the special teams, and Donta Hightower returning from COVID opt-outs last season. I am so excited. I know you guys are all too. It is going to be great. I think the Patriots will be a lot better than what people think. Don't forget, there's no 17 games, there's 18 games. Everyone still has a bye. I'm going to give the Patriots a 12-5 record. People can see them being like 7-9-ish or 7-10, I should say, rather like they were last year, which is a losing season for Bill Belichick and the spoiled of greatness we've been getting through with Tom Brady at the helm. He's no longer at the helm, and it is very different, but we still got offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels leading the helm, and the Patriots added some weapons, like I've said on a few Wolfcasts ago. I am excited for this. It is going to be a divisional battle, but I think the Patriots will take this 30-23 Patriots. The reason why I say all this is because it is going to be tough. I know it's hard to believe, but the Dolphins were one game away from making the playoffs last year. They got beaten out by Baltimore, but they got a former Heisman Trophy winner, Tua Tagovailoa, at the helm, his second year going up against Mac Jones, who Mac Jones backed up during his time until his senior year. You got a lot of rookie quarterbacks, including the high all-elite, pun intended for us wrestling audience, Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars, number one. You got Justin Fields on the Chicago Bears. You got Trey Lawrence of the San Francisco 49ers backing up the former Patriot Jimmy G. You got also Zach Wilson of the bottom of the barrel Jets. I love laughing at the Jets. They suck. And they will probably continue to be. And that's fine with me. Because this is a very critical week one game, because Super Bowl contenders, and they made it to the AFC title game last year, the high-flying Buffalo Bills and the Bills Mafia are predicted Super Bowl favorites besides the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Brady and Gronk. Still sad thinking about it. I'm going to have a lot of Tom Brady content when we get to week 4 of the season. You watch, and I think that it will be the second straight season the Patriots host the Dolphins at Gillette, but it will be with fans 100% capacity, Foxborough Gillette Stadium this year. They got a new video board. I am super excited. The Wolf is in town. Ooh. It is going to be great. They're going to actually open and they're going to close at Miami, which hopefully they're not tied with them by the time the end of the season comes up. As we know, even with TB12, they're cursed in Miami. The last time they played, the Tua rushed for 2 touchdowns with Cam Newton when he was quarterback of the Patriots with a 22-15 victory over the Patriots the last time these two teams met. And the Pats looked really good when they hosted the Dolphins last year. Cam Newton looked really good before all this COVID stuff hit. But anyways, let's move on to the future, shall we? It will be the 10th time in team history that both teams are playing each other on the opening day. And the first time in a while that both, like I said earlier, are starting and ending the season against each other. Usually they have the upper hand ever since Gillette Stadium was in existence after the 2001 Super Bowl win against the St. Louis Rams. The tide has turned, but they struggle. The home team usually has a better advantage of this series, but usually the Patriots take care of the Dolphins in all these years. As I remember, Tom Brady beaten with Randy Moss throwing 3 touchdowns when the Dolphins were the worst we've ever seen them in 2007. Tearing them apart, but they usually do pretty poorly at Hard Rock other than that one historic game when the Pats won 17-0. And you know what happens with David Tyree. I don't want to get to that. But anyways, you got a huge running game that people don't realize. The Pats have a good running game. We may have traded Shoney Michel to the Los Angeles Rams. Their tailback got hurt for the season. Cam Akers, so they're having him with Darrell Henderson Jr. And the Patriots love to run the football. As ever since Tom Brady left for Buccaneers, Josh McDaniels has shifted his scheme to a run-first kind of offense, which Cam Newton was in favor of this. They built it around him, but he got cut, and I'm really happy, and I know a lot of Patriots faithful are excited to see the rookie Mac Jones start. And we got Damian Harris that should be starting. He had a great outbreak last year before he got hurt. He was leading the Pats. He did well with the yards from scrimmage. You also got rookie Ramondre Stevenson coming off a fantastic preseason that he rushed for over 70 yards from the line of scrimmage against the formerly known as the Redskins, the Washington football team in the beginning of the preseason. And I think the Pats have the edge when it comes to running the football, which is going to be important. If they can take the time off and put a lot of pressure on Tua, I think they'll easily win this. But you never know. It's week 1. No one knows what's going to happen. Especially be careful, folks, if you play DraftKings or FanDuel in the elimination pools. Please be cautious because you don't know what everyone's going to look like at week 1. It's a lot different than 9 months ago, folks. You got J.J. Taylor, who's a third run back, but you also got legend James White, who is used to the Kevin Falk type role, third down back that is very critical in the clutch for the New England Patriots. As long as he's healthy, he's not designed to run every play, but he has his moments when you throw screen plays and he can dash. The Patriots obviously have the edge on the running game as you got the Dolphins starting Myles Gaskin for them. Backing up is Ahmad, I think. Malcolm Brown, speaking of the Rams, he's a backup. He was formerly known in Los Angeles Rams, so they got quite a running game, too, that could be underrated. They're not very strengthy at the running game. I think it's going to come down to who can kill the clock in this match, because that's how the Patriots won the Week 1 last year when they killed time on the clock. You also got J.J. Taylor in the old hybrid role with special teams, and you can count on him anytime. The Patriots have huge depth at running back. That's going to be a key. But the Dolphins front line with linebackers such as Andrew Van Ginkel, Eldon Roberts, Emmanuel Ogaba, Davis, and Wilkins have a great job protecting, and they're going to pressure Mac Jones. So he's usually a good pocket passer, and he's very smart, just like TB12. So he has to have time to strategize, and he's got to be really careful this Sunday, as the Patriots do have the strength in the running game. But if they lose, it's because it all depends on Mac Jones, I think, because rookie QB, he might have the jitters or he might go off. You never know. He's only a $4,000 play on DraftKings, so if you have GPP lineups, you might want to start him. He's making his NFL debut, but Miami has a great secondary, just like the Patriots have. But here's where the Patriots have their weaknesses. The passes, they got Xavier Howard, an all-star quarterback from Miami, who had a few interceptions. Byron Jones, and they got the other McCourty. We have Devin, who got moved from cornerback to safety. They got Jason. They both played for the Patriots last few seasons, but the twin brothers will be on separate sidelines. No terrible twins there, folks. And you got former safety Eric Rowe for the Dolphins, who used to play for the Patriots. And they can cause a lot of problems for Mac Jones in the secondary. So that's why I say the big key of this, they got to run. Take some pressure off Mac Jones and have him focus on short passes. Well, the Patriots have the edge on the run. The Dolphins have the edge on the secondary. Here's why. Because you got J.C. Jackson, who led the league in interceptions, believe it or not. Last year, you also have an all-pro corner out with a leg injury, Stephon Gilmore. It's going to be very tough for them. But the Patriots can counter with the short passes. They're looking to recreate the former Gronkowski, Hernandez, mac and cheese con. I hate to say that name, Hernandez. Terrible of what he's done. But the two tight end formation, former Titan Jonnu Smith, and former star of the Los Angeles Chargers, Hunter Henry. Who knows who's going to get more of the bulk between these tight ends. But if we have a couple of short passes, they should be able to win this. And the Dolphins have the edge in the secondary there. But I think if we focus on short passes, we got Jacoby Myers, who actually produced last year. Got N'Keal Harry, who needs to step up. You got free agents in Nelson Aguilar, a former deep threat veteran for Philly and LA. You got Kendrick Bourne, former special teams and slot receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, which can give the Dolphins difficulty, but we got to throw the short pass and run. Like I've said, that's how the Patriots will have the edge on this. And Miami is really bad in the run game, where the Patriots are really strong. The starting running back is Myles Gaskin, who only had 584 yards and 3 touchdowns last year. Could be good, but he's not in every down rule. And you got Donta Hightower and Kyle Van Noy, who used to play for the Dolphins last year, returned to the Patriots. I am very excited to see him come back along with Donta Hightower. We also signed newcomer Matt Judon. But the Pats have a huge edge in this game. They should be the favorite. They should take care of business. But the problem is that you got Tua get the 6-3 at the starter last year. He did okay versus the Pats last year. They will be missing Will Fuller, the wideout they got from the Texans. He is suspended since last year with 6 games. He's finishing his 6th game up. Good thing is they won't have, but they have weapons like Devontae Parker, new rookie Jalen Weedle, and you got tight end Mike Geckesley, who might be playing. He is injured, but they got some weapons too. It's not going to be a blowout game, but without corner alongside Jackson, Williams or Millis for the Patriots are going to, you don't know which one's going to start alongside Jackson, so it's really tough for the Dolphins. Well, it's going to be really tough for the Patriots, because it might have an advantage for the Dolphins if they can execute the deep ball better than the Patriots. But no one knows what the Patriots is going to look like. They have the edge on special teams. They also have a new kicker called Quinn Norden on, and they still have Nick Folk. I'm surprised they didn't cut him, because we need a kicker to replace not only Adam Vinatieri when he left to the Colts many years ago, won 2 Super Bowls for us, but you also have Steven Gostkowski, who retired a few years ago, and we need a consistent kicker. We haven't had that in a long time. But the Patriots are underrated for their special teams, including Matthew Slater, who's been an all-Pro Bowl special teamman for like 5 years in a row. Got Brandon Bolden coming back to be the kick returner and punt returner. You got Garner Olszewski, who could have a Danny Amendola role or even an Edelman role if he works on the short slot passing. I am really excited to see what they can do. And Belichick is 26-16 against Miami. Both of these teams have a big game if they want to get the division title. But here's a fun fact. You got Jacoby Brissett backing up Tua. Belichick with rookie QB start are 6-0 under Belichick, including Tom Brady years ago. You have Jimmy G. You got Brissett. That's an amazing feat, folks. You got the Buffalo Bills, who are going to be heavy Super Bowl favorites in AFC East division winners of last year. Both these teams have a big game ahead of them, and they're not going to start off with a cakewalk. So this is a pretty big game in the beginning of the season. The problem what killed the Patriots last year, which they need to improve on, the offense should be way better, is they were killed, not the deep ball, obviously, how J.C. Jackson and Gilmore were amazing last year, but they got destroyed on the screen short passes for like 10, 15 yards. They failed to stop the yards after the catch, which will need to improve if they have. Hopefully the D's not out there most of the game like they were last year. That'll make a huge difference, a huge weakness that got exploited last year. You also have Miami outdoing the Patriots on touchdowns last year, 42-36. And they had a better turnover differential. But the Patriots usually do good on opening day. And you got a lot of things to look for, including how the rookie Quinn Norden does on the 53-man roster. And you got a Foxborough crowd, so hopefully he doesn't bot. Bill Belichick has 311 career victories as a head coach, quote-unquote, postseason 2, behind George Halas and Dolphins legend Don Shula, who had an undefeated Super Bowl run. But don't forget, folks, Belichick's not going to allow his team to go have a second bad non-playoff season, especially with TB12 and the Buccaneers winning 2 in a row, winning a Super Bowl last year. Bill Belichick's got a fire lit under his ass, and I'm very confident. And they have an impressive statistic of 102-1 all-time at Gillette Stadium after the first half. So the Pats are known for adjusting in the first half. Maybe they start off slow the first half, because the Dolphins almost made the playoffs. We can't underestimate them. They're known for making better adjustments, and this year's a fresh start. But at the same time, though, Bill Belichick's been with the Patriots since 2000. We haven't had a lot of bad seasons under him. And we also got second returning players, Kyle Van Noy, Harvey Lange, Ted Karras, and Trent Brown coming through a second stint. The Patriots will look to break some record, especially if they have their 55th overall victory of all time. They have 556, third most for pro football since 1960 when they started. A long time ago. A lot of people weren't born then. Belichick has 18 wins and are the most among active head coaches. And if he wins, it will be 19. But the big factor, which we should feel confident, quarterbacks are 6-0 in their first career starts all time against Bill Belichick, dating back to when he was in Cleveland a long time ago. But the Pats have half of their rosters new that didn't play with them last year. It's going to be amazing. A lot of young guys, but you got a lot of veterans too. A balance, which I like to call it. And I am so excited. I think the Patriots can do really good this year. But we also got to keep an eye on who's on the injured list too. It's going to be a very interesting to see how those new weapons produce. You got Mac Jones leading the NFL on Fanatics as the highest selling jersey ahead of Week 1, only ahead of Josh Allen. Behind Josh Allen, I believe, Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady, all quarterbacks. But here's what I think will happen. I think the Pats will win the AFC East this year, but the contenders are going to be Kansas City for the AFC, and you've got Tom Brady and Gronk and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defend their title against the Dallas Cowboys, which they got all kinds of weapons too with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk, got Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette and running back for them, so they could repeat easily. No team has repeated through the Super Bowl since the Patriots in 2003 and 2004. I am so excited. You guys should be too. We also got the Red Sox chasing the wild card in the American League. They had a big win with a phenomenal assist by Hunter Renfroe that crushes an inside-the-park home run against the first-place Tampa Bay. We're 9 games behind first place for Tampa, but we're also half a game ahead of the New York Yankees, and they have the 2 wild card spots currently. As I won't get in too much, but you also have Patrice Bergeron of the Bruins heading off. He said he's not going to discuss his future. It could be his last year too. But here's how the sportscast is going to work out, folks. When the Pats play on Sunday, I will try to get you between Thursday and Friday, Thursday night or Friday morning, a preview of the game. If they're on Thursday night, I'll do it by Wednesday morning. When they play Monday night, I'll get to you by Saturday. So you should expect a Friday morning, for at least for the next few weeks, for the Patriots. I'll recap this game and any other future Sunday games on Monday at the latest. But please be careful if you play fantasy football, if you play daily fantasy with the FanDuel or DraftKings, as Week 1 can be very critical. And it is very tough. You don't know who's going to get injured. You don't know who's really good or who's really bad. It's a new season, comes new changes. And you'll get the Bruins season starting in October. You get the Celtics in November. You also got potential Red Sox playoffs if they can get by the wild card. Could be a Red Sox-Yankee one-game playoff. That's going to be amazing. As the Yankees were doing really well after the All-Star break, but they struggled recently. I will cover the Red Sox more next week, as I'll try to divide each team by the time everyone gets going by October, like I was doing in the spring when I started this Wolfcast. You can expect that. But anyways, it was a fun time previewing. I am looking forward to hearing from the loudspeaker another Patriot first down, and hopefully many more wins as we start the 2021 NFL kickoff. I am so fucking amped. You guys should be too. Disable signing out. See you later. Thank you for watching this featured VSW presentation. Subscribe and follow the VSW podcast on all sorts of social media platforms. But subscribe to our YouTube folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Disable signing out.